Alrighty, fellas, good morning. My name is Patrouski. Welcome back to another PokeMMO stream recap, your daily source Monday through Thursday, Tuesday through Friday if you're watching the recaps. Your daily source of tips, tricks, information, discussion, conversation, news, everything happening in PokeMMO. We try to cover it here in the stream recaps. Let's go ahead and jump into it. You do have your typical catch events to talk about. There's a big project there's been a lot of big projects dropping recently in PokeMMO. I'm struggling to cover all of them. It's really cool to see how many websites, tools, things are being created by the players for the players. There's more of that than ever right now in PokeMMO. But first things first, we do have catch events, okay? There's a Carvana catch event this Friday on the 5th of June at 6 p.m. ET. I have two catch events to cover today, and both of them are new. I have not covered them yet. This is at Route 119 in Hoenn. You have 1 hour to catch Phoebus for plus 15. Speaking of tools for the community, there have been multiple new Phoebus websites. There's the Phoebus Pond Discord. There are tons of ways to be aware of where you can watch my stream during the event. There are tons of ways to be aware of where the Phoebus tile is at during that event, which is going to be crucial. I bet you the winner of this event will be a Phoebus because it's about a 50% spawn rate once you find the Phoebus tile, and it being a plus 15 bonus, you've got to be on the Phoebus tile for this event or you are trolling is what I would say. Phoebus is plus 15, and the tile, if you don't know, Phoebus is a Pokemon where the tile it spawns on is constantly rotating and changing. Plus 15 for Phoebus, 0 for Carvana, and 0 for Sharpedo. Nature bonuses are plus 5 for Modest and plus 5 for Bold. There is a shiny Carvana. Beautiful. I love it. Such because Carvana and Sharpedo are both beautiful shinies, so trying to get two of them is kind of a pain in the butt, dude. Shiny Carvana, absolutely gorgeous. This is an S tier, at least A tier, maybe S tier catch event in my opinion. People will get shiny Phoebus naturally during the event like that. It's a really good one. Check it out this Friday. Next up, there's another catch event, two catch events this weekend on the Saturday 6th of June at 4 p.m. ET at Route 43 in Johto. You have 1 hour to catch Flappy, Mareep, and Ampharos. Nature bonuses on screen, and there is a shiny Mareep. Shiny Mareep up for grabs. Fantastic PVM Pokemon. Ampharos being used in certain storyline fights like the Gyarados refight, being used in raids. Ampharos is a really cool Pokemon, very usable, very great shiny. I mean, this is once again kind of two S tier catch events, at least A tier, maybe like A tier catch events, I would say, Friday and Saturday. Excuse me, I did want to cover it one more time. This has officially taken place. Porygon Z has been moved up to OU, and it's still doing really, really well. So Porygon Z is actually no longer in the UU tier within PokeMMO. There's still Porygon 2 in the UU tier, but it's doing like 47% win rate. Porygon Z in OU, look at this. Now, it's not a huge sample size. It's like 500 games since it is currently the 1st of June. The season just reset, I believe. So all these games have been played day one, right? Which is kind of crazy, actually. Wow. How many PvP games are being played? Like day one? 4,000? It's 12. It's noon. Like, that's wild. You know, PvP is way more active in Pokemon than people realize, in my opinion. But Porygon Z, dude, almost 7% play rate, 57% win rate. That is a crazy win rate at that play rate. It's impressive, man. So I made a video over the weekend breeding up some Porygons for profit, and those have sold. It's good Pokeyen right now to breed, EV train, XP train. People want Porygon Z's for OU. It is the new hot Pokemon right now, so keep an eye out for that. Anyways, back to the rest. That's our PvP tier change. Back to our typical news. Well, we do have actually a fun little thing. Mr. Granola's been hosting the Vanity Magazine. You can submit your outfits, your cosmetics, and your drip to him over on the forums, and he picks someone once a week, I believe, and kind of flexes them, which I think we need more ways to flex people's achievements and grinds in PokeMMO, and it's really cool that this guy is able to, you know, he picked a person, and he's a staff member of PokeMMO just doing this for the love of the game type beat, right? And it's really cool to see him like showing off someone else's designs and hard work and like the combinations. I think it's a really beautiful way to just say thank you to certain players and show them some appreciation. And it's the staff members of PokeMMO have really been going above and beyond over the past few months, man. The staff members are really keep the game a huge backbone. They're a huge backbone to the game, man. It's really cool to see stuff like this. A really cool, unique project from Mr. Granola. Now, I do have one big piece of news before jumping into the achievement showcase, okay? So the big piece of news is that PokeMMO Showdown is now a thing. The link for this website will be in the description. this is a massive deal. It's not very popular right now. It's the biggest downside, is that not many people are playing on it. But this does a few things. And it's crazy because, dude, this is something that we wanted, so I would have killed for back in like 2013, 2015. 2013, 2015 Pokemon players wanted this so bad, but we didn't have it. We tried to play Gen 3 OU, Gen 5 OU when that came out. Like, we tried to play certain things Pokemon stylized on Showdown, but with legendaries and all the different there's just different. PokeMMO was a different game. PokeMMO was a different game comparatively to the other generations. And there was never a way to practice properly with PokeMMO PvP or to like team build. And the fact that someone actually took the time to code this and develop this is amazing. And you check it out. It'll be linked in the description. It's a really cool resource, a really cool website. And I think it's just really cool that it finally exists. We've wanted this since 2013 in PokeMMO. People would try and it just never really worked. Even just the team builder alone, being able to organize your teams and have stuff like that in a different format is so sick. It's just such a big deal, man. It's really cool, the amount of player projects, the community projects that are being created right now. I'm gonna check out PokeMMO Showdown. Next up, finally onto our achievement showcase. If you don't know, the achievement showcase is a way for you guys to flex your achievements, as well as for me to hopefully give you guys some ideas and some inspirations today. If you're watching on your second monitor while grinding PokeMMO, what do you want to work on today? I actually recorded a hopefully a good guide video this morning that is all about giving players some direction and telling people, you know, complete a storyline and then try some shiny hunting, doing this and then that, and like kind of giving players a little bit of a push. PokeMMO is a lot like Minecraft, which you see in the background here, where I think it is a sandbox type game, more so than an MMO, honestly, that gives you a lot of mechanics, it gives you a lot of systems, but it's hard to know what to do. You have to have some creativity and some goals. You can play Minecraft infinitely, but you have to have goals like making this castle that I've made, you know, the front castle and then the back wall over the mountain, and kind of understanding what you want to build, what you want to create, what you want to do in Minecraft. And it's difficult to know what goals you want in a game without knowing what those options are. So hopefully the achievement showcase is some inspiration for people looking for PokeMMO goals. Lottie Tries completed their Pokedex. You only do this once in PokeMMO. It's a big deal. Congratulations to you, Lottie. It unlocks a huge part of the game. I love that we have Mount Silver now in PokeMMO. I love that completing your Pokedex is relevant now in PokeMMO. It wasn't for a very, very long time. So congrats to Lottie for completing your Pokedex, dude. It's really cool to see. Next up, Vagra got 4 shinies in 40 days. This is consistency. This is what you want to see, man. That's, if you can get 3 to 4 shinies a month, that is really, really, really good. 1 shiny every 10 days. That is really, really, really good consistency. Like that is going to do great long term, you know. And I love the shinies they went for. The cute charm Jigglypuff, the Frisk Thief Bayonet, the Smeargle is number, you know, it doesn't really count in the streak or whatever, but still a shiny that they have. They went 61,000 encounters for, and they are also on a little bit of a wet streak from these 4 hunts as well, which is really cool to see. So congrats to them on their 4 shinies and 5 shinies overall. Now Liz, I don't want to say new, because they've been playing the game for like over a year. Yeah, over a year now, or almost a year. I don't want to say newer shunter, but a wet shunter in PokeMMO, okay? Haven't crossed 30,000 encounters by far. Still no secret shiny though, frowny face. I do have to say, congratulations on all your shinies, okay? 17,000 encounters for a Duskull, 29k for a Jigglypuff, 3k for a Ditto, 12k for a Ditto, 746 for a Loudred. Probably a lot of single encounters in there, right? I assume Ditto farming. 27,000 encounters for a Geodude. This is awesome. You should be proud of this. Flex this. Going wet is a good thing. Going dry will happen. You should be happy and proud that you've gotten this many shinies in not even breaching 30,000 encounters, right? I do have to push back a little bit respectfully on the still no secret shiny though so far. A secret shiny is 1 in 16 single encounter shinies on average, right? And I'm sure it looks like a lot of these are single encounter shuns. I don't think all of them. Obviously, you see the Duskull is sweet scented. So let's say the other ones are all single encounter. You have 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 5 single encounter shunts. Keep in mind, secret shinies are 1 in 16 single encounter shunts. You should get 1 on average every 16 single encounter shunts. You have done 5, and that is amazing. I don't want to take away from your amazing achievement and amazing grind. I see this a lot. I don't want players to set themselves up for false expectations and do 5 single encounter shunts and be like, oh man, still no secret shiny. I hope you get one. That would be awesome, but that would be very, very, very lucky, and you're already very, very, very lucky, and that's awesome, because your bad luck will come, or your dry streaks. If you play Pokemon for long enough, you will get wet streaks, you'll get dry streaks. you got to just push through everything. That's the beauty of the game, is experiencing all the different types of shiny hunts. I wish you luck on your secret shiny, but I wanted to add that in for some good perspective so people don't get a little too, expecting of things. But obviously there's no hope in, you want to prepare for the worst, I guess. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst. I could respect that, right? All right, next up, Noms was able to get 4 shinies in 5 days. We just covered 4 shinies in 40 days, and that's really good in my opinion. Like, that's really fucking impressive. 4 shinies in 5 days is even crazier. They did end up losing one, sadly, though. Woobat, 33,000 encounters. Drudagon, 4,000 encounters. Axew, 2,000. Yeah, it's very possible they were joking, German, but I see a lot of new players that aren't joking about that. So if I'm using their joke to talk about a real thing, that's kind of what I do. So apologies if that person feels I don't want to do that, but it's more of like extrapolating something for a talking point, which is what we do a lot here. Rapidash was lost at 6,000 encounters, though. That sucks to see. I have talked about, like, I think we have a lot more high-level horde shunts now in Pokemon, and a lot of high-level Pokemon that we aren't used to, and you have to kind of prepare bringing higher-level Pokemon. Something that I want to start PSAing, and something that I want to start talking about a lot about more, is just making sure you have high enough level Pokemon to be doing hordes at the certain spots that you're at, honestly. Someone will actually distract for a quick sec. Someone in chat said, should I use RP to buy an XP Reamplifier or Ocarinas? Exit Reamplifier is better in my opinion. Some ocarinas are nice though. Ocarinas are mostly paying for convenience. Some of them can help you EV train or XP train more Pokemon at once, and that's really beneficial. But overall, ocarinas are paying for convenience, whereas XP Reamplifier is paying for a straight buff to XP training. Definitely would recommend the XP Reamplifier first, especially while RP is so cheap. The Reamplifier historically has cost around 3 million Pokeyen. Right now it costs around 1.5. Like, it's literally half in that's crazy, right? Oh, sorry, I'm not showing the here. Let me show the the actual cost of RP. Here you go. So make sure this is a great time for every player to get the Reamplifier. I used to recommend not getting the Reamplifier until you were at like end game, right? But nowadays, I would recommend getting the Reamplifier like pretty early, like much earlier on in your Pokemon journey. The fact that it's so much cheaper, I would recommend getting this a lot sooner. Looking at like mid-game, like 3 to 5 regions done, you could start saving up for an XP Reamplifier. I think it's a much more viable option with it being 1.5 million Pokeyen versus when it was 3 mil, right? But anyways, ocarinas are nice too. Fly Ocarina, Surf Ocarina, Teleport. There are some ocarinas that are nice, Sweet Sun Ocarina, but you don't. They're more for paying for convenience in my. Those are also cheaper right now because RP is cheap, right? But sorry you lost your Rapidash, Noms. I've seen you in the achievement showcase a lot though, and you get a lot of shinies, so just keep it up, gamer. Next up, moving on, Tally Hack. I think this is a really wholesome story of something we don't see a whole lot, which is non-OT shinies. I love encouraging OT shiny hunting, and I think OT shiny hunting is really special and really beautiful and gives you this like specific connection. But I think for some people, sometimes you want to non-OT collect, and there's nothing wrong with that. I do think it's important if you're a non-OT collector, if someone says like, yo, I just worked really hard, if someone types in global chat, yo, I just worked really hard for this shiny Shroomish, I don't recommend sharing your non-OT Shroomish in response to that, because it's kind of not the same thing. With non-OTs, we don't know who credit card swiped. You can pay to win for non-OT shinies, which is the problem. But with OT shinies, it proves that you for sure worked for it, right? But there are certain non-OTs that people worked really hard for. So you want to just spread love and hopefully just never be negative in response to someone sharing a non-OT and just be nice and blah, blah, blah. Some people go too far with that, but they are different. I think it's important to talk about that. But this is a really perfect example of when you should maybe buy a non-OT shiny and reward yourself and go for a certain shiny hunt. Tallyhack says, I worked very hard in the 2026 Lunar New Year event, and I told myself afterwards that I wanted to shiny hunt for Shroomish, but I didn't want to spend forever on it, so I could use the money that I saved from the event to buy a Shroomish if I couldn't find one. I set myself a goal of finding at least one shiny in Petalburg Prison before making the purchase, and they ended up getting a shiny Zigzagoon and then ended up rewarding themselves by buying the shiny Shroomish. I think this is a super base example of like, you know what, they wanted a shiny Shroomish in some way, they want to have a Breloom, like now they have this amazing 3x31 adamant natured like Shroomish they can turn into a catching Breloom and use on their account. And if years from now they want to continue their Shroomish hunt and get an OT Breloom, that's awesome. If not, I think this is a really cool, reasonable, fun way to do it. So I want to congratulate Tallyhack on your new catching Breloom, dude. Congratulations, man. And then finally, we have one more story to talk about today. I love the encounter counter being added to PokeMMO has added new elements of collections and whole new achievements in the game, dude. So for example, Paisy, who doesn't really target shiny hunts a ton, right? They got 10 accidental shinies along playing the game naturally, which is a lot. That's really impressive. They ended up target going for a shiny Slowbro, and what's really cool is they got it at 55,555 encounters. That is sick. That is insane. That is, I think these kinds of shinies are so underrated still, and in the like these are gonna start, they're starting to get appreciated as Epoch talks about collecting like certain encounter. I think that's drawing a lot of proper appreciation and love, which is awesome. There's so many, it's really cool, man. It's really cool to see. There's Paisy in chat right now. It's really cool to see people getting these types of shinies, them adding that little bit of value. The official encounter counter did so many things, and I feel like I underappreciated it when it finally got added to the game. Not only did it add an official encounter counter to the game, so we don't have to install a third-party mod to count our encounters, right? That's nice in its own right, but it also added an extra legitimacy in confirming for sure people could not lie about encounters anymore at all, as well as the fact that it shows the number on the Pokemon. Now it adds extra collection element. Like, the encounter counter is one of the best updates in Pokemon over the past 5 years, and I feel like it's so easy to take it for granted because it is, the era before it was just so much rougher in terms of that. Now we have validation on shinies from that point forward, which is amazing, and having that before Shiny Wars was a big deal. It is a big deal, and having it into the next upcoming Shiny Wars is really cool. But that is our stream recap intro. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm sure we'll have tons of questions from chat today, and we'll see tons of clips in the future from that. But I have some berry planting to do and Shiny War prep on the Ironman to continue. What do you recommend a solo player like me do during Shiny Wars? It depends on your goals. There will probably be a shiny boost that affects the entire game. So you can shiny hunt alongside Shiny War, even if you don't want to be like in the war itself. You can shiny hunt alongside it for fun at a boosted rate and getting some good shinies. Or you could use it as a way to make some Pokeyen, or do both, right? Mix things up every day, right? Fossils, Dittos, potentially Mysterious Balls, maybe Ninkadas. There are tons of things that shiny hunters need during Shiny War that will be at a much increased demand. Breeders for like alphas, like male alpha dragons, or like male alphas of all different types of egg groups. Field male breeders at all. Skitties, things like cheap female only egg shunts, Skitty, Chansey, things like that. Keep an eye out for the markets and use it. Like, Shiny War is one of the biggest transfers of players, rich players and players saving up for a full year and then spending it and transferring wealth from rich players to grinders, the newer and medium players, medium level players who are willing to put in the work and grind and make all that stuff. It comes down to effort and time and all that. But it's a great opportunity. Shiny War is a great opportunity, not just for shiny hunters, but for all types of players to make a ton of Pokeyen and develop connections. High-end players really care about consistent streams of things. They need Ditto sellers who can sell them Dittos like every other day or every 3 days, or Leppa berry farmers who can sell them Leppas, you know, every single day type thing, right? And if you can build a connect, you can like literally network in PokeMMO and have a and have, like, you know, a team to join in the future, because if you become a trusted Leppa seller or a Ditto seller, you can make a name for yourself. Shiny War and events and big things like this are a way for players to make a name for yourself, whether you're in the war or just a supplier on the outside. It's one of the coolest parts about MMOs, one of the coolest about PokeMMO, right? Is that players can have an opportunity to make a name for themselves like that. Is a really cool opportunity, to say it again. Someone said, is it too late to start Ditto farming right now? There's a few things. Better late than never, number one. And then, like, it depends on your goals. Is it too late to prepare for Shiny Wars? If it happens, haven't been confirmed yet. If it happens in a month and a half, is it too late to prepare for Shiny Wars and try to go for top 3 in the world? Yeah, it is. I'm gonna be honest with you. Yes. The people that, like, it's like saying, like, hey, the NFL season starts in a month and a half. Do you think that I can scrape together a ragtag group of guys and win the Super Bowl? No, you're probably going to fucking get hit by a linebacker and broken in half. You know, like, it's, to be honest with you, being the best takes insane levels of preparations and practice and everything, right? It is probably too late to be top 3. But is it too late to be top 50? I don't think so. I think if you start preparing about a month in advance, I think you absolutely can go for top 50, and if you're dedicated and have the time, but not everybody has it. Shiny, I want to be honest, Shiny War is a very like intense thing. It is not for everybody. It is not for the, it's just not for the average Pokemon player. It's not even for the above average Pokemon player. Shiny War is for the best shiny hunters in the game. It is going to be extremely intense, extremely competitive. If you want to try it, you can, but I do want to help people, like, let people know what they're signing up for. And one of the biggest things is getting a team that has the like-minded goal heading into it. You do not want to be that person on a team who, like, the team is going for top 3, but you can only play like 8 hours a day, because that's not going to cut it. I'm sorry, but it's not. It's just not enough, you know? To be the best in the world at something is incredibly, disgustingly difficult, no matter what it is. I don't care if it's the best basket weaver, the best, you know, knitter, the best PokeMMO shiny hunter, whatever it is, man. It's incredibly hard. Top 50, if you're good, with a month of prep, you can do it, you know. Yeah, the top players are prepping during the Halloween. They're prepping even, I knew a lot of players who were prepping right after last year's war ended, you know. It's crazy. But is it too late to be top 50? Or I don't think so. I think you should absolutely go for it and prep for that and try your best. It's hard to tell. I'm curious to see how competitive top 50 will be this year. That'll be really interesting to see the stats by the end of war. When would you recommend selling Xmas items from like 2025? It depends on you. I don't usually recommend selling investments from the previous year, less than 1 year later. Usually that's too short of a holding period, but the economy of Pokemon has been weird over the past few years. If you've made a good return, go ahead and sell. Now is the time to be selling investments during the summer. It's a little weird because people might, it's tough. It's tougher these days because people are holding their yen for Shiny War. But people are also dumping certain investments for Shiny War. It's gonna be tough. There's never one perfect time to sell investments. You want to be slowly selling, like, year round a little bit, but it depends. But out of all times to sell investments, the summer is usually one of the better times. During the events can sometimes work, but it's really risky. Things can go down or up. People dump during those. I think summer is probably one of the most consistent times to be selling investments. So I'm glad you asked. Right about now is usually one of the consistently better times to be selling investments. Now, don't dump stuff. You want to sell investments very slowly and consistently in PokeMMO. But right now, during June, July, during summer is one of the best times. I'm glad you asked. Great question. Alrighty, fellas, it is time for either your most favorite and least favorite part of the stream. Someone already said Legally Blonde, lol, our beloved Veltu. Bro, I will stand on business. I think Legally Blonde is genuinely a 10 out of 10 movie. I think it was fucking ahead of his time. I think it's fucking girl boss in the most positive, like, absolutely good ways. I think it's a movie about breaking stereotypes and proving yourself, and I will fucking stand on business. I think Legally Blonde is comparable to, like, Accepted with Justin Long. It's comparable to like School of Rock. I think it's a fantastic, I think Legally Blonde goes fucking hard. I also love a lawyer movie. I love Liar Liar with Jim Carrey. Kind of reminds me of that. Let's do it, boys. Let's cover Movietrouski. Here are my opinions, my takes, my thoughts on movies that I have watched. Recently, I watch about one movie a day, sometimes more, sometimes less. And I kind of just share my thoughts here on stream since we play a very grindy game called PokeMMO, a really fun secondary hobby to PokeMMO that me and a lot of my community has gotten into over the past year to like 14, 16 months has been movies. Watching movies alongside shiny hunting, grinding amulet coins, grinding the Ironman account, whatever it may be, has been a fantastic side-by-side pastime. So let's jump into my, and always leave me recommendations in the comments. I will add anything and everything to my watch list on Letterboxd. I am just Patrouski on Letterboxd if you want to see my opinions and thoughts and reviews in lifetime. I do leave a review for every single movie that I watch. I think I try to do that where possible. First things first, Legally Blonde. I think it's a fucking 10, man. I know it's kind of like, I'm being generous. I love it, man. I love Legally Blonde. I watched it I rewatched it in the movie theaters. In theaters with my wife recently, we have the movie theater battle pass where we can go, we pay a flat fee and we go unlimited times. I love Legally Blonde. She watched it. She loved it too. If you haven't seen it in a long time, check it out. I think it really fucking holds up and is a really fun time and is a good bit. Now that is Ted the TV show, not Ted the movie. Don't confuse ball, okay? Ballers no ball. Dude, okay. I memed on the Ted TV show because the idea of that sounds hilarious. Who needed that? Who wanted that, right? I didn't have much of an interest. The Ted TV, me and my wife watched it. and it's a fantastically good background comedy show. I actually really enjoyed the Ted TV show, which is kind of funny. It's kind of Seth MacFarlane's often a guilty pleasure, but I do think he is a genius, like comedy wise, whether you like Family Guy or not. Like I do think Seth MacFarlane is like really talented. I think Ted, the TV show, I know it sounds cringe. I would give it a shot. It was much better than I expected. Me and my wife really enjoyed it. I give it like a 7 out of 10 as like a background watch. Next up, Backrooms. Yes, I have seen Obsession. I have seen Hokum. Hokum's the one being forgotten. I think I did a whole ramble on Obsession, but for those who haven't, since it's so popular right now, if you haven't seen it, I'm really glad Obsession's getting the love that it is. I gave Obsession an 8.6 out of 10. I think it's really good. Okay, I think Obsession, I'm really glad it's getting the love that it is. It's a movie directed by a YouTuber. It's what's it called? It was on a $1 million budget and it's made like 25 million. Obsession's, the actress is amazing, the lead actress, the morals. Obsession's fantastic. It's a really good movie. I think I give it an 8.6 and I'm glad it's getting all the love that it is. And then you have, I think Hokum is, my only thing is I think Hokum's better. I wish Hokum got some more love. Hokum was like a 9.5 out of 10 to me and kind of got forgotten. Backrooms is quite good. I think it's really interesting. I ended up giving Backrooms like a 7 point, I can double check, a 7.4 or a 7.6. Yeah, I give it a 7.6. I think the directing of Backrooms is the strongest part. The performances are good. I think the atmosphere of Backrooms falls a little bit flat to me personally. There is a lot of tension, a lot of stress, and I do think the story, the atmosphere falls a little flat, and the story is the weakest part. I wish the story was a little more, I don't want it to be fully explained. A big part of it is the mystery. I don't want to remove that, right? But I do think that I would have loved for a few more things to have been answered, and I think it fell down. But I think overall the Backrooms is worth the watch and worth the theater watch in my opinion. At a 7.6 out of 10. What else? Next up we have The Breadwinner, which I also saw in theaters. Very I mean, is The Breadwinner worth to watch in theaters? Probably not, to be honest with you. And I do like the movie, and it's a really wholesome, fun comedy movie with Nate Bargatze. It's a fun, Breadwinner is a fun, wholesome movie. It reminds me of like Are We There Yet with like Ice Cube. It's a fun, family-friendly comedy that is not for everybody. It may not be, the jokes in the comedy did surprise me. I enjoyed, I laughed out loud a lot more than I expected. It's not super memorable in my opinion, but it's a fun time. I think it's a better movie to watch on a casual afternoon after work, or like a sunny Sunday with your partner, with your spouse, whatever, or with some friends. It's a good group watch. I think it's a fun, wholesome, chill movie, but nothing super crazy to write home. I gave it a 7.2 out of 10. There's one bit in it that is like so good that I think it's like the whole movie's worth it. Next up, the Mortal Kombat original movie from 1995. I missed Mortal Kombat, the new one, in theaters. I think it was in and out so fast. I think it bombed. So I didn't last in theaters very long, which makes sense. Mortal Kombat movies have historically not been that good. But this one, the first one, I gave like a 5.5 out of 10. I think the story elements of the original Mortal Kombat are actually quite good. The fighting was really mediocre and really uninteresting and kind of boring in my opinion. Was really disappointed by the fighting in the Mortal Kombat movie, which is kind of sad. But the story is interesting. Fantastic Mr. Fox. I had never seen this. I finally got around to watching it with a group of friends. I liked it, and it's really memorable and really unique. I think if someone told me their favorite movie is Fantastic Mr. Fox, it's a green flag to me, and I really respect it. I respect the vibe, and I love stop motion animation, but it's not the total vibe for me. I can't believe it came out in 2009. It's wild. Wes Anderson has just historically not been my vibe. It's not that I don't think it's bad. It's just not my style of directing and not my style of script. I do like the fast, quick dialogue, but I don't like the monotoneness. However, Mr. Fox has probably less monotoneness than a lot of his other movies. Like I think I prefer Isle of Dogs comparatively to Fantastic Mr. Fox, and Vision seems fine, and I hated The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar. I despise that movie. I have a lot more to watch from him, but I just don't think he's my style of director personally. Fantastic Mr. Fox is fine. I think I get like a 7.6 out of 10. I think it's definitely worth the watch and cool, but it's not totally for me is the best way to put it. But I respect it, and I think it's a green flag. Once for some people that is for. Thumb Wars. I've talked about Thumb Wars a lot in the Thumb movies on this channel. I love the Thumb movies. I have nostalgia for them. I watched them on VHS growing up. They're just dumb little parodies. I love parody movies, music, etc., etc. The Thumb Wars is a parody of Star Wars with thumbs. It's that stupid, unironically. It's about 30 minutes long. I have a love for them. The person who made, I think, Jimmy Neutron, it's Steve Odenkirk. The guy who made Jimmy Neutron is the same guy who made the Thumb movies. He also made Barnyard, like Back at the Barnyard or whatever, that movie. He is a very interesting, very creative soul from what I don't know him, but from what I understand. Next up, what is next up? I love Thumb Wars. It'll always have a place in my heart. The Blair Thumb, which is based on the Blair Witch Project, is the one that I don't really care for. Never Back Down. This is not a lot of guilty pleasures today. Never Back Down is probably not a very good movie, but this is like peak nostalgia for me. Never Back Down is a movie about fighting and like UFC, and there's a really good acting from what's his name? It's the guy from Blood. He's in Blood Diamond as well. He's a really underrated actor. I'm gonna find him. Jimon Hansu. I'm so sorry if I butchered his name. He is everything he's in, he's very, very under. He's in Gladiator as well, the original Gladiator. Very fucking underrated actor. He is really like, he is way too good of an actor to be in Never Back Down, this like cheesy coming of age UFC edgy fighting movie with like Amber Heard. This is peak nostalgia. I bought this from 7-Eleven growing up, and I fell in love with this movie. So this is peak nostalgia for me personally. I love this. I will always love this movie. I'll give it a 9.8 and a like. Next up, I watched Boss Baby for the first time. I've heard very mixed things on Boss Baby. I really did not care for it. I really did not enjoy it. I found it really strange, and just the world building is weirdly the best part of Boss Baby. The dialogue and the jokes are awful. It's a kids movie. I mean, what are you gonna? But like, there's Shrek's a kids movie. It's a great movie. Was not a fan at all of Boss Baby. I gave like a 2.8 out of 10. Ladies First, I was really let down by. This is a new comedy from Sacha Baron Cohen, who is the guy who did Borat, Borat's subsequent film, which are both like 10 out of 10s, amazing movies. He also did Bruno, which was not as good. But man, I was hopeful for Ladies First, and this movie, I think it was very one note. I think it was very on the nose. I think it was very, I like what it's trying to do, and I like some bits, but it fell flat. It's unmemorable once again, and fell flat to me personally. I wouldn't recommend it. Your time. Now, a movie that I would recommend your time, and that I rewatched with my wife. It was even better on the rewatch. I think this is one of the most underrated hidden gems of 2025. Is Code 3. This is, if you like The Pit, this is The Pit, but with EMS workers who are arguably even in a more insane spot than, not to compare healthcare stuff, but Code 3 is really fucking good. It's a little edgy, a little smarmy at times, but I think they kind of deserve it. And I think Dwayne, it's got, what's his name? Rainn Wilson, not Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Rainn Wilson, who's Dwight, infamously, from The Office. He's the lead character of this, and he does a really good job. There's another guy as well, Lil Rel. There's a guy as well who's like also very talented, who's the friend in Get Out, who's also very underrated, who's in this as well. All the acting in this is like really solid. This movie's great. I think Code 3 is like a fantastic, there's some gore in it because it's about EMS work and healthcare, so keep that in mind. It's like, don't eat food while you watch this movie. It's a tough watch. There is a lot of gore for a non-horror movie. Probably some of the most gore in a non-horror movie. But this movie is really beautiful and really worth the watch. And please find the time to watch it when you can. I really love this movie. I cannot recommend it enough. I give it a 9.6 out of 10 and and I've watched it twice now. And it got better on the rewatch, in my opinion. I love Code 3. Would definitely recommend it. That's what you survived the Movietrouski takes. Thanks for watching. Let me know what movies I should watch in the future and cover takes for in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. Let's go back to some PokeMMO memes. Dude, this is so real. Tabard was asking, like, do you plan to take a break from your Iron Man account, like, post Shiny War? And I mean, I just plan to take a break from PokeMMO post Shiny War, at least like a 1 week. Nothing crazy. I love the game, obviously, but that's usually what I do during big events or big grind periods, is like grind really hard and take about a week or so break. I am excited for like post Shiny War because there is event season coming up, but I've already prepared for event season on my Iron Man account. Because I prepared for event season so much last year, Tabar was just saying, I feel like literally ever since like Halloween last year, you've been grinding nonstop. And I kind of have been. It's been a lot, and I'm excited for a nice break, right? But at the same time, I'm allowed, there's the instinct of like I should be stressed heading into event season, but I'm just good. I think I'm just prepared. So like that's gonna allow me, because I prepared so much last year, it's going to allow me to get back to guides. And I have worked more on money making guides between event season ending and Shiny War. Hopefully you guys have seen that, and I have worked a lot more on guides in between that period. But now that we're getting closer to Shiny War, I have pulled back again from guides and mostly focused on my Iron Man account and progress and content until Shiny War is over. Then once Shiny War is over, I can get back to challenge runs, guides, more variety of content. But when it comes to doing Shiny War, I have game goals that sometimes distract from my content, and doing Shiny War as an Iron Man account is one of them. I would do better as a creator if I just didn't do this goal and I just pumped out guides and made, you know, the bet, blah blah blah. But like I love the game and I love the challenge, and I'm excited. I have to have that balance and that mix of game goals and content goals. And Shiny War will be a lot, and I'm excited for it, but I'm also excited for it to be over already. It's still like so far. Then it'll allow me to, it'll open me up to be able to do more challenges and do more variety of content, all these things. When I have less of a time crunch, I will not have the same time crunch this year during event season that I did last year, because I'm already prepared on the Iron. And that is really, really nice and relieving. It's a good example of how like hard work pays off in PokeMMO, and how like your first event season year and your first time doing all these is really stressful, and it gets easier and easier each year. The more time and effort you put into PokeMMO, the easier and easier, the more rewards you'll stock up year in and year out. But already, fellas, I think that is going to wrap up the stream. I think there was some really good Iron Man progress today. I'm excited to just stay consistent and maybe some fossil farming off of stream as well. Like today's stream if you enjoyed it. Dislike if not, that's okay. Give me your honest feedback. I want to see guides, videos. What do you want to see discussed in the comments or live on stream? I'm going to go above and beyond and support the content. YouTube memberships, Twitch Primes, Twitch subs, YouTube memberships. What I say, everything. PayPal, Venmo helps me be here, helps a ton. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good Monday, have a good week. I will see you guys with more content coming up this week. We have catch events Friday and Saturday as well. Keep an eye out for those. But for now, fellas, peace, Reno. Yo, what's up? Outro Patrouski here, and I wanted to say thank you so much to everybody's name who is on this list. You really allow me to make the content that I do every single day, and I hope I can make it worth your guys' while and add to your PokeMMO journey. Thanks again so much for watching the entire video, and have a great day.